Welcome to chapter 120, I think. I'm not sure. Who cares? Of fictional recollections of a pale gent. How are we all doing? Hope you've had a good week. Guys, I'm pumped. You want to know how pumped up I am? This is how pumped up I am. You ready? Get that up, ya. Get that in your ear holes. I've been singing with my band, across the land. I'm as pumped as the ultimate pump up song for two reasons, guys. This is why I'm pumped. Reason number one, brand new microphone on the podcast. If you're watching the video, you already heard that. No, sorry, you already saw that. And if you're listening, you may have already heard it. You may have already heard that crisp sound of my soothing voice in your ear holes. Now we can do that ASMR shit. What do people call it? I don't know. I can't even say that word. I just say like asthma. What is it? ASA. I don't know what it is. Whatever. That shit where they're like, this is a pencil tapping on a desk. And it's like, or whatever. Like, this is the sound of a Nokia hitting an iPhone. We can do that shit now if you guys want. If any of you guys have a kink for that, let me know. And we can do like 3 minutes a week of me just like whispering softly into your ear just to calm you down, soothe you into the week. And yeah, I'm pumped. So thank you very much to all the Patreon people who made the new mic possible. We got the Rogan mic. We're coming for you, Joe. All right, we got the primo mic, the number one mic on the market. And I better be sounding crisp. If I'm not, I've wasted about $1,000, so hopefully it's sounding nice in your ears. Let me know if it. I don't know you got any tips or whatever for the sound, because I've just started using it. Got the new mic arm. Also got this side table to rest it on. Not cheap, but worth it. You know, because now the only thing that separates Memoirs of a White Guy and Joe Rogan is about a couple of million listeners. So we're coming for you, Joe, and he's probably pooping his ducks right now. He's over in LA, you know, yeah, he's getting the Kevin Harts on of the world. But you know, did you fail to get Osher Gunsberg? You know, that's the thing. That's one thing that me and Joe Rogan have in common. All right, two things we have in common now. Two things. Okay, same microphone. Got you there, Joe. And also, we have both failed to get Osher Ginsberg on our podcast. So we ain't that different. So I'm coming for you, Joe. I've got the mic. And yeah, this podcast is becoming a whole lot more legit. And the second reason I'm absolutely pumped, guys, just so psyched, is I am sick and I'm bloody pumped about it. How good is it having a headache all the time? Not being able to think, having such a sore throat that you just get 4 hours sleep. This right now, this in a few seconds is in audio form how pumped I was last night when I couldn't get to sleep for 3 hours, rolled over, saw that it was 3 a.m. and then just thought, God damn, I love my life. This is how psyched I was. I was this pumped. I was like, yes, do not regret walking for 6 hours in the freezing cold wearing shorts. Don't regret that at all. I'm bloody pumped. So it's great to be sick. Awesome to have a sore throat. Love that before the biggest show of my life next weekend. Can't wait. But no, I'm resting up. I'll be good in a couple of days. Just it sucks. I walked for 6 hours with Lewis to end the radio show Monday. And look, do I regret it? No. It was a lot of fun. We wrapped up the radio show. We did the final walk home, and it felt right. It was a fitting end. What didn't feel right was the blisters on my feet, and now the sore throat and the sickness that has set in. This morning, what is annoying about it as well is I had a flu vaccination booked in for this morning, but then I got sick the night before that. So I was 1 day too late. I could have got the flu vaccine yesterday morning. Maybe would have been sweet. I don't know how it works. But anyway, got a vaccine this morning. So I'm probably autistic now, according to everyone on the internet. So that's fun. So Yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I've been just pumped up that I'm sick, pumped up that I actually am pumped about the new mic. Not pumped that I'm sick, but, that's life. And I am pumped up because I want to go through your ultimate pump up songs. I said last week, obviously, that Fat Bottom Girls by Queen is the ultimate pump up song of all time. And I was honestly surprised at how little controversy, more like how little lashback I got over that. Usually when you make a bold statement that maybe is an unpopular opinion, people disagree. It was pretty much unanimous on the comments of the video that I uploaded, messages during the week, people who listen to the podcast going, could not agree more. My friends and I, get pumped to this on the regular. And I was surprised, to be honest. I thought I was the only one jamming out to Fat Bottom Girls, because I thought even if people were jamming out to Queen to get psyched, most people would turn to a We Will Rock You or a We Are the Champions, one of their more anthems, to get them psyched. But I'm just a Fat Bottom Girls guy. I like the beat, I like the energy. Lyrically, not the most inspiring song, but it's more about general attitude, and that's what you get. How's the attitude? How's the sass? This is what you do it for. You make the rockin' world go round. So I asked you guys last week, look, if you want to add to my pre-show playlist, which obviously can, and send me your pump-up songs, and you guys can jam out to them before my stand-up shows. And I got many suggestions. Sorry if I've forgotten a few, but I've decided to go through them on the podcast. This first one is from Dakota, who lives in Ireland. So she hit me up on the Patreon because she couldn't knock me up. So she said, I joined the Patreon to get the knock number, but I don't think she probably could send it internationally anyway. So she said, my number one pump-up song is Take Me to the Top by Motley Crue. And her explanation was, just gets me as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Oh, no, wait. Okay, I'm reading this wrong. Just gets me, and as far as I'm concerned, everyone pumping, even at 7 a.m. on the way to a boring workday. Big call. I thought Fat Bottom Girls would be the only song that I'd be jamming to at 7 a.m. All right, what is it? Take Me to the Top, Motley Crue. So I'm not a big Motley Crue fan, to be honest. Hang on, here we go. We got it. Just not like I've just never listened to them, really, because my dad wasn't into them. All right, good start. Dakota might know something that I don't, because so far, I want to bloody get psyched. Okay, pretty good. Still pretty good. All right, is there any lyrics, or is this song just... All right, let's skip. Look, a little bit repetitive because I just skipped about 1 minute 30 into the song and nothing changed. So maybe it's a little bit repetitive, Dakota, but I guess that's fine because you're just trying to be psyched. Hang on, I'll skip. Oh, it just changed. Nah, it's definitely repetitive. Oh, that's different. Oh, I don't know if I like the guitar. I would say mildly inspirational. It'll be put on the maybe list. She sent in a second one. Joanne Jett, Bad Reputation. Oh, this is the one from Shrek. I know this song only because it's on the Shrek soundtrack. And couldn't agree more, but maybe I'll put the Shrek version on if this isn't the Shrek version. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, I don't know the words. My name is Jeff. Oh, yeah, this is good. Really good. Yeah, good suggestion. I think that's going to go in there. That's going to go in to the playlist. I think that's made the cut. Well done, Dakota. Bad Reputation is that... What was her reasoning? If it wasn't... Now, see, look, your reasoning wasn't good. One of those days when you feel badass. How about, maybe it was in one of the greatest films of all time. Any song that's in Shrek, I'm more inclined to get around. Why? Because I respect culture. This one is from another bloke said, If your ultimate pump up song isn't Faithful by Fat Man Scoop, you are talking straight trash. Wow, big words, but I like that confidence. Faithful by Fat Man Scoop. Faithful Fat Man. Like, what is that? Oh, dude, it's not even coming up on Spotify. Does this song even exist? It's like, it's like if you don't take a picture when you do something, like, did you even do it if you didn't put it on Instagram? If it's not on Spotify, isn't even a real song. Let's be real, man. Faithful. I gotta YouTube this shit. You kidding me? Faithful by Fat Man Scoop. Not even on Spotify. It's like, what? Does the dude not want to be ripped off by a massive corporation? What's wrong with him? Oh, I hate these YouTube ads where you go on YouTube and instead of watching an ad, they give you like a survey. Like, oh, have you seen any McDonald's ads recently? You're like, dude, I see McDonald's ads every day. Not on your shitty platform. Go down the road and you see a McDonald's ad. Ah, this is a jam. Oh, this is a tune. Single ladies. Yeah. This is okay. I take back my previous attitude towards this song, man. This is a dope track. And, I would say it's not an ultimate pump-up song, but it's definitely like, I reckon it's more of a pre-going out kind of jam. But good suggestion. Have another one coming in. I will only go through a few. We might do a few a week, maybe. Because I don't want to spend the whole time just talking about sweet jams. Because we've got other content to go through. Alright, what's the next one? Okay. Ben said a couple of pump-up songs for the pre-show playlist. Love Story by Taylor Swift. That's interesting. I don't really know why, but I just get stuck into this song and I'm always pumped after. Man, I love a bit of T-Swizzle more than most, but I don't know if I would call it a pump-up jam. I kind of like it for the journey, the emotional roller coaster that the Swizzmeister takes you on every time you put those headphones in. It's like, oh my God, like, she's one of those artists where it's like, there's so many songs about her breaking up with different guys. Like, you can't have that many breakup songs on one album before you look at yourself and go, am I the problem? You know what I mean? You can't just sing that many songs about ditching other dudes before you eventually realize, hang on, maybe it's not the guys. Maybe it's me. Maybe I am doing this for content. And, I do a lot of things for content. I walk 6 hours, which I'll get into, by the way, why we decided to not do the radio show, if you're wondering. But yeah, I'm not going to listen to Love Story by Taylor Swift because I know it. And I disagree, Ben. I would say one of the ultimate, maybe like a good bop to fuck to, but maybe not a good pre-show bop because I don't want to walk on stage with a massive erection. Bop by Hanson, and then his reasoning is it's just an absolute bop. Well, it's actually an bop, Ben. I haven't heard bop by Hanson in years. How does that go? Bop. Is it 3 M's? Bop Hanson. Here we go. Dude, this guy has no taste in pump up. Who's getting like full? Imagine like going to the gym and be like, all right, I'm going to smash out like 4 sets right now. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to benefit afterwards. Then be like, all right, let's get psyched. I would put down the weights and just start grooving, dude. It's not a pump up jam. It's just like I think you've confused good songs to jam out to at a party. I think you're playing in a different league, Ben. You're playing in the funky league, getting a bit groovy. I'm playing in the let's get freaking pumped zone. That's the kind of area that I'm playing in here. I want psychitude. I want you to leave the song wanting to head butt a wall. Like, for example, I would like to think that Fat Bottom Girls is brick wall level knocking down pumped upness. For example, when Harry and Hagrid are first going into Diagon Alley in the first Harry Potter, in the Philosopher's Stone, when they're going to get supplies for Harry's Hogwarts. If Hagrid had have listened to Queen, Fat Bottom Girls beforehand, he wouldn't have opened Diagon Alley with his umbrella. Fuck that. He would have given a big old Hagrid head bump and knocked that wall down out of pure psychitude. No magic needed. It's you know what it is? It gets you so pumped up. That's how much of a bop. If we're using the word bop here, that is how much of a bop Fat Bottom Girls is. You can be so pumped up that any muggle can become a wizard. That's the level of psychitude that you want to be after these songs. And I'm sorry, man, I don't think Bop by Hanson gives you that vibe. And I think a lot of people right now will be nodding along in agreement. And, hate to speak on the majority, but also pretty confident here. Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's pretty fast and loose with a good beat. Always gets me pumped. He said Fat Bottom Girls is a great pump-up song and always been my favorite Queen song. And sporks are the best utensil there is. All right, so this guy kind of gets it. He's in the know, but maybe just not with pump-up songs. Look, Can't Stop maybe is a good one. The intro, if you're not familiar to Can't Stop, the intro is one of the most alpha intros of all time. It's like one of those songs where you got to give it a minute. It does this for about, a bit, and then it goes... Ooh, okay, this one might make the playlist, dude. Yeah, okay. Ben, you've got one in. Into the shindig. I'm gonna win big. Who's not to like... Okay, yeah, that's in. It's in. You've sold me. Alright? Can't Stop in the playlist. Bad Reputation, Can't Stop have been officially added. Cool. Thanks for your suggestions. Alright, we'll do one more, then we'll move on. Best pump-up song ever. Tops anything you'll ever hear from Charlotte. The song is Hello, I Just Came to Say Hello by Lady Aqua. Sorry, I just feel like shit. Lady Aqua. Hello, that's not a song name. You can't call your song Hello, I Just Came Here to Say Hello. Alright, here we go. I'm already unimpressed. Nah. What? Oh, okay, I do know this song. No, this is not pump-up songs. This makes me want to go to sleep. Alright, now it's getting a little bit... that snare gave it a little more oomph. What's the chorus like? Too groovy again. It just makes me... You know what it makes me want to do? Use an umbrella to access Diagon Alley. Sorry. Not enough. I want to be Hagrid headbutting down that wall. I want to be so pumped that I get in to Diagon Alley by headbutting it, then leave by smashing through the brick wall again on a Nimbus 2000. That's the level of psychitude that I want to be at. And I'm sorry, Charlotte, but that song isn't cutting the mustard. Good suggestion though. It's not bad, but it still just makes me want to get out the umbrella and tap away at that brick wall and use a bunch of spells. Queen, on the other hand, dun, 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 dun. I was singing in my band. Dude, by the time it gets to I was singing in my band, I'm already through the brick wall. Had a little bit of lashback, I'll be honest. There was a few people like, dude, you're so wrong. How is that a pump-up song? And I was like, dude, I will fight you. I will fight anyone. And you know why I'm confident? Because I will meet up with you and fight you. And before the fight, I will listen to Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. And I'll be way more pumped than you. And I'll beat you in that fight convincingly. Dude, I reckon I could beat Conor McGregor in a fight if I listened to enough Queen beforehand. I have no fighting ability, no training, no muscles. I would say no biceps, no leg muscles. I'm almost like a human equivalent of just like not not completely skinny, you know. I'm not like Slender Man, but I would say I'm a lover, not a fighter. But with enough fat bottom girls, I'll become a fat bottom boy and just come in there and start throwing my ass around. And dude, you're gonna get brick walled. You don't want to be that brick wall, do you? So yeah, you know what? I'm happy to fight anyone who disagrees, as long as I have 3.5 minutes to go back and listen to the best pump up song of all time beforehand, and then you guys will get owned, son. Imagine coming into a fight, right? And then you haven't listened to this. You are losing that fight 9 times out of 10. All right, that's enough about pump up songs. So guys, after that, keep your suggestions coming in. We've added 2 more songs to the pump up playlist: Bad Reputation and Can't Stop by the Chili Peppers. One from Shrek, one just a well-renowned banger, and keep them coming in hot. So what has been happening next? I should probably talk about why we decided not to do radio anymore. It's probably come pretty suddenly to you guys, but it's something that we've been weighing over. It's not like we just made a decision very quickly. Something that we weighed up for a while. End of the day, if you were a fan of the radio show, we really appreciate it, and it was so cool to see how many people enjoyed it. And yeah, we just don't have the time. I think a lot of people, we posted about that we were leaving radio, and people naturally assumed we got fired, which is what you would assume if you've ever heard our show. We used to, do terrible things on the radio. I used to say things I shouldn't, and we used to pull pranks on our bosses and stuff. Very unconventional radio for people who've been doing it for 2 years. But God, it was a lot of fun. And look, we were surprised, to be honest, that we never got fired. But we decided to leave, which I think definitely comes across as crazy for people who maybe aren't in the industry or something like that. Like, why would you leave a job on, national radio, but when you're a comedian? But I don't know. We're the type of people where if we don't think we can give something 100% anymore, then we don't like doing things half-assed. So we pretty much, our tour schedules with our like stand-up, and Lewis is going to America for a month, and just with just everything all built up, and we realized that we got offered a couple of things that were Monday to Friday, and we couldn't do it. So we were doing Sunday nights. We were doing once a week because that's what fit into our schedules. And I think as soon as we realized that we couldn't even do Monday to Friday, we were like, well, we can't just do Sunday nights forever. So yeah, the Luke and Lewis show is ended for now, definitely for the foreseeable future, while we do a lot of stand-up, a lot of things that work into our schedule. I'm about to do my comedy special. That's a big task in itself, not just with the filming, but with the post, after it's being filmed, the release and stuff is a lot of effort. So for the rest of this year, we are both going to be very busy. I'm trying to get to 100k subscribers by the end of the year. So we just really want to knuckle down and focus on our own things a bit more. And obviously Lewis and I are still best friends, and we'll keep doing stuff together. That's another thing. A lot of people are like, oh my God, do they hate each other? Yes, we had a big punch on, but I won because I listened to Fat Bottom Girls beforehand. And, I guess that's Lewis's fault for not getting psyched enough beforehand. But no, Lewis has gone away for a month. And yeah, we're just, it was the right decision for both of us. It's something that we have been, weighing up for a while. And then during the comedy festival and stuff, it just became very evident that we can't do this because I had to cancel a couple of shows, and yeah, that's not something we want to do to you guys as well. Like, if you want to, for you, it's not fair to people who like our show. Like, one show I couldn't even attend it because I was doing my stand-up show, and so that's not fair to the radio station. It's not fair to you guys, the people who like it. So it was it wasn't a hard decision in the end, but it sucks. We love doing radio, and I still love it, but we still got our podcast and stuff, which is super fun, and we'll always still be doing stuff together. So yeah, for the time being, that's what's happening. No more Luke and Lewis. So we finished it off on Monday with a 6-hour walk home. I'm now still very sore, have multiple blisters, and I'm sick because of it. But it was worth it because it was so much fun. We had like thousands of people following it all day, like tuning into different live streams. It was really cool. So yeah, it was the send-off that show deserved, and I'm super glad we did it. So that is the explanation. A lot of people have been messaging me. And yeah, just thank you to every person who's tuned into that show. We tried to do radio a bit differently, and I think we did. I think we gave it a real good crack, and it was so much fun. And we don't regret it or anything for a second. It was one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life, and it allowed me to quit my job at the golf club. That job allowed me to become a professional comedian. So, very cool. I got to have that opportunity in my life so young, and you never know. It's not done forever. It's always something that might be on the back burner. But yeah, we'll see what's happening. What else I want to talk about? Oh, okay. This is gonna get a lot of hate, and I know I'm probably in the wrong, but sick of Avengers, guys. Sick of it. Endgame. End the series. Dude, when I thought it was Endgame, I was so excited. I was like, please tell me this is the last one. I watched the first one, and I was like, huh, superheroes, cool. I've read a comic book before. I get it. Alright? People fighting each other with powers. Seen it. Bye. And I know that's controversial. I know it is probably the most popular movie series in the world right now. But hey, suck my butt. If you disagree, I don't care. Suck on it. Get a straw, dude. Because it's so overdone now. The whole Marvel thing. I'm sick of it. I feel like there's like 2 or 3 Marvel movies a year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there's at least 2 a year, and that's too many. I like a few of them. I like Iron Man, you know. That was it. Captain America. Look, they're not bad. I'm just sick of the hype. I think I don't like the fan base. Maybe that's what bothers me about it. I still like some superhero movies. To be honest, most of the superhero movies I like are DC. I like Batman, like The Dark Knight, and I like Wonder Woman. The rest of DC were dog shit, but you know, superheroes just ain't my jam. And I know that's controversial, and people are like, Luke, I used to like you, but you've offended me. Get the straw. I don't care. You can suck my butt. Unless you're underage, please don't suck my butt. You know what? No one, please try and suck my butt. It was more of a hot slam to anyone who disagrees. I don't actually. It was not a metaphor. It was a joke. Not a great one, but don't suck my butt. All right. Yeah, Avengers. Can we stop? It's on trending. It's on YouTube trending. It's in every news article. Avengers this, Avengers that. Avenge my butt and suck it, okay? Because I'm done. I'm over it. And it's the same thing with Game of Thrones. And yeah, I watch Game of Thrones as well. But for those people who don't, God, I feel bad for you. I know how you feel because I don't really watch the Avengers. You know what happened with Avengers? It got up to the one where it was like Age of Ultron or something. And I saw the trailer and I saw Tony Stark fighting pretty much Transformers. And I went, I don't need to see that. I don't need to see a bunch of superheroes fighting a bunch of Autobots or Decepticons or whatever they're called in Avengers. Don't care. The last time I watched Mark Wahlberg do it, I was severely disappointed. So don't care. Not interested. And that's fine if you are. I'm not judging you. I'm sure they're great films. I just have no level of interest in the saga anymore, which is so frustrating when everyone else in your life is in it, because I just can't get involved. I'd probably like to be involved, but I cannot bring myself to give a fuck. And that'd be like the people about Game of Thrones. Oh, have you seen Game of Thrones? Seen Game of Thrones? I do watch Game of Thrones. I have seen it. But I don't talk about it all the time because I feel bad for those who don't. Because I know how it feels to be on the other end. So maybe can we just as a society, stop being so wrapped up in pop culture? I know it's a good escape, but there's more. There's more to life than Iron Man punching something. That's great. I think that's so cool as well. But the level of hype that it gets, it's on the news. It's oh, Avengers this. It's a movie. It's not real. People act like it's real. Like, people are like, oh, bro, did you see who died in Game of Thrones? Now, I'm not going to spoil it, don't worry. But people are like, oh, you see, like, all these people died or whatever? And you're like, yeah. They didn't really die. You know, it's not that tragic. People are like, oh, man, I was so sad. Really? You were sad that they progressed the narrative forward and something happened that was interesting? Why were you sad? It's entertainment. Stop pretending it's real. People like get so invested in TV that I reckon there's like 5% of them that forgets. They're like, this is my life now. So they're like, oh my God, Thingo died. Who's my favorite character? You say character, not your favorite human. You know, some people get more cut about like things that happen in Game of Thrones than horrible tragedies that happened in the world. Some people get more affected, and that's so fucked up. But yeah. Anyway, so my point was just good on you if you like Avengers, but suck a butt at the same time. That was my point. Suck butt. Get the straw and get a slurping. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, does anyone remember this? I think this might be a new segment. Maybe we'll call it... Look, I think it's kind of a racist if I call it this, but because I'm not saying that only white people have experienced this, but... Jesus. Sorry. I'm so sick. I need a drink. A good podcast would stop it, take 5. This isn't one of those podcasts. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. I think it might be racist if I call this segment this, but I don't know. Who cares? It's racist towards me. Or no, maybe it's excluding other people. Who knows? Whatever. I want to do a segment called Things White People Understand. Now, if you understand this, I'm not saying... Look, I'm digging myself a hole here. But it's just I feel like this was such a thing that was like, oh my God, white people suck. It's more like Australia, actually. It's not a white people thing. It's an Australian thing. It's like a weird... Our culture is so hard to understand from an outsider. This isn't necessarily what I was going to talk about, but I want to talk about this first, actually. This is how hard our culture is to understand to an outsider. When I went to America last year, I was talking with a few Americans. Like, I went out with a few Americans. I've got a mate who lives over there, and he's American. So I went out with his American friends, and they're like, oh, so you're from Australia and stuff? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, so Smoko, yeah? And I was like, what? And they're like, I'm on Smoko, so leave me alone. I'm on Smoko. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's Australian. They're like, man, that's the best. We love that. And I was like, oh, I couldn't believe they knew it. And they're like, so that band, he goes, are they like a joke band? Like are they like the Lonely Island, or, like, do they do parody music like Weirdo Yankovic, like original kind of joke music? And I tried to explain to them what a shit meme was, and they couldn't get it through their heads. American people don't understand the culture of liking garbage. And I was trying to explain Shannon Knoll to a bunch of Americans. You try and explain why we are obsessed with an ex-Australian Idol contestant who didn't even win, who was robbed, right? Who has a goatee and posts pictures on Instagram of him holding fish. You try and explain that to American, why he is treated like a god here. They go, so I was showing them all the comments that people leave under Shannon Knoll's photos, and I was like, look, see, everyone, comments the same thing. It's like a bit of an in-joke, and even Knowles, he gets that he's a bit of a joke. And they go, oh, so you hate him? And I'm like, no, we love him. And they're like, so why are you taking the piss out of him? And I go, because that's how we show love in Australia. You shit on someone until they're famous. That's what a shit meme is. Everyone groups together as a culture and says, haha, wouldn't it be funny if this guy headlined a music festival because he has one song that's not even his, and then we all rocked up and sang it. That'd be a good laugh. That's our culture. And other companies, other countries can't get it through their head. They're like, so you hate him? I'm like, no, we love him. Like, so you hate that you love him? And I'm like, kinda, but they just didn't get it. So they couldn't understand the band The Chats, like the Smoker song. They were like, so is that a joke over there? Or is that what Australian music is? I'm like, no. Like, we know that that's shit. Like, that's kind of why it's popular. And they're like, so why is it popular if it's shit? And I'm like, oh, that's why it's popular, because it's shit, and we like shit stuff. And they just couldn't get it through their head, right? So anyway, back to what I want to talk about. This may be very confusing if you are from another country, but we do a lot of shit stuff in Australia, and it's just part of our culture. Our culture's so weird. Now, I want to know if people did this at school. I think every Australian kid has had this happen to them before, and you'll all be like, fucking why? You'll look back at your life and be like, oh yeah, I did do that, and I have no idea why that was taught to me in school. This is part of our curriculum at school. Did anyone who grew up in Australia, maybe it's just Victoria, I don't know, maybe it's literally just my primary school, but you guys tell me during the week if this is related to you in any way, shape, or form. Did you guys ever do a class or an activity at school where you unwrapped a minty wrapper, so a little mint lolly, you unwrapped a minty wrapper and then tore it really tiny all around the edges until you get closer into the middle to try and get the longest minty string possible out of the wrapper? Did anyone else do that? I was thinking about this recently. I don't know why, it just occurred to me. Like, someone offered me a minty, and I was like, what? I took it, and then I started wrapping it, and I was like, why do I know? Why was I taught as a kid, as an 8-year-old, that you should tear it and then you can make a really long string? An utterly pointless activity. But yet I remember doing that 3 to 4 times in primary school as a class. Like, they were like, all right, now here's how you tear the minty. Why the fuck did we learn that? Now, maybe I'm the only one. Maybe you guys are all listening and going, I have no idea what you're talking about, but that sounds shit. So I love it, because that's what Australian culture is. But let me know if you guys did that as well. It was called like the Minty Challenge or something. I have no idea why. But that was just the thing. Someone offered me it, and I was like to my mate, I was like, do you remember doing the thing where you tore the minty wrapper? And he's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I did do that. Why did we do that? And I was like, why? There were so many things in my life now that I look back on, and I'm like, why was I forced to learn? Like, why was I forced to learn that? So weird. Anyway, that's a thing that's happening. So look, let me know. I don't know why I wanted to talk about that on the podcast. I feel like I want to feel like I'm not the weirdo here. I want to feel like other people were doing that, and I just didn't waste heaps of time as a kid unwrapping minty wrappers so I can get the longest minty wrapper. Now, that might be very confusing for overseas people, but hey, that's Australian culture for ya. Guys, I got the biggest show of my life coming up next weekend. Brisbane. All right, there is only about 100 tickets left. Okay, it is going to be the biggest show I've ever done. I would love to see you there. Please to God, come along. We're filming the comedy special. I want it to sell out. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, would love it if you're already coming, bring along your friends. It's general admission, so just buy another ticket and you can still sit with them, whatever. It's all ages, so get down, bring your mum, bring your bloody pet. Don't bring your pet, but it's going to be dope. So Brisbane, I'm coming to Queensland next weekend. I'm doing Sunshine Coast. Tickets are still on sale. Brisbane and Gold Coast. LukeKidgell.com. I'm filming my comedy special, my first ever filmed live special. So if you want your back of your head and your laughter in my comedy special, then come on down. I'd love to have you there. I'd love to have you there giggling along. And it's going to be a super fun show. It's going to be the biggest night of my career. So I'd love for as many people to be there as possible. It'll be awesome. So yeah, doing that next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're coming and you think you know someone else who wants to come, bring them along. Bloody get down. Tickets are $30, so you're going to get one hell of a show. I can guarantee you'll get your money's worth. You know why? You get your money's worth even just before the show, because this is going to be just pounding through the speakers. Imagine just getting ready for like the biggest show, the best comedy show you've ever seen, and then just hearing this. That's already worth the money of entry. literally anything on top of that is a bonus. So you guys are going to have a sweet night. Get down Brisbane, get down Sunshine Coast, and get down Gold Coast. Also, then I'm coming to Hobart. Come on, get down, get around me, Hobart. Pretty sure I've sold more tickets in Albury than I have in Hobart. I'm selling weirdly well in Albury. That makes no sense. But anyway, Hobart, you've been telling me for years, oh, come to Hobart. Please, come, please. So I'm like, fine, I'll book a show in Hobart. Same thing happened in Canberra last year. Oh, you never come to Canberra. I'm like, fine, I'll come. Then for 3 weeks, 4 people had bought a ticket. And I was like, well, fuck you all. I'm not coming then. So, Hobart, if you're going to be like that, then I don't know if we can be friends. So, let's make this first show pop, and then I'll be able to come back the next year. But if, I can't just come to Hobart and lose a bunch of money. So, get down to Hobart. It'll be a dope show. It's the first time ever there. And Albury, man, I'm keen for that. That's going to be popping, that show. Never been there either. I used to go camping there as a kid, and that's cool. Maybe word got around like, oh yeah, he used to come camping here with his parents. So we should definitely go see his show. Either way, whatever press is getting around up there, it's good press. And then Adelaide and Canberra. So those are all the shows. The Tambourine Tour kicks off again next weekend with the special and a bunch of cool shows. It'll be dope. And then the live podcast also at Mount Tambourine. So a lot of reasons to get down. All right, before we end the podcast, we're doing we're doing the knock. People have knocked me up during the week. Someone said Buffer D's nuts. So the same person keeps sending me stuff about D's nuts. Good comedy. He said, hey, do you remember Boffer? And then he said Boffer D's nuts. All right, I skipped the setup to the punchline. Although it did not improve the joke. Someone said, how do you pronounce the word rodeo with horse riding and bull riding and stuff? I said this in front of a coworker yesterday, and they said, do you mean rodeo? Spelled R-O, the word day, then the letter O. The ute and the horse bull riding event, it's spelled exactly the same. It's spelled exactly the same, but the ute is pronounced rodeo, not rodeo. Anyway, and then there's a bunch of text missing. I don't know. That's weird. That text came through, and half of the text is missing. But they said, how do you pronounce the word rodeo? Rodeo. It's not rodeo. Rodeo. That sounds like an RDO, like a rostered day off for a tradie. Oh, man, it's my buddy RDO, my rodeo. It's rodeo. Who pronounce it? Do Americans pronounce it rodeo? Dude, they're wrong. What else? Hey, Luke. This person's knocked me up. From Jordan. Hey, Luke. I just wanted to get some life advice. I'm currently 19 and working in a bank, and I absolutely hate it. Yep, I can imagine. I'm not sure what it is I want to do, but I know I want to do something creative. My question is, what helped you figure out what you wanted to do, and what would you suggest help me figure it out? Thanks, man. Have a good one. Man, trying something new. That's what made me figure it out. I went to see a comedy show. I'd never seen a stand-up comedy show before in my life. I don't ever really watch it on TV. I think it was something I had a vague interest in, and I had maybe pondered the idea of, but then didn't know how to get started, didn't know how I'd ever get into it. It seemed completely out of reality. It seemed completely untouchable. I don't know how these comedians get so big, or just stuff like that. I was I wouldn't even know where to start. So it was always something that I think seemed really out of reach. And then I just went along, and I was fuck it, I'm just gonna do some research, and I Googled Melbourne comedy, and then it took me a while to find, but then I found some open mic rooms, blah, blah, blah. But that's how I actually found out I wanted to do it, was just by trying something that I was kind of vaguely interested in. I was hating my degree that I was doing at the time, and I was I need to try something new in my life, or I'm going to be miserable. So I literally just went to watch a comedy show, and it kind of made me go, oh shit, there's something here that I love, and then I explored it a little more, and then I realized this is definitely what I want to do with my life. So yeah, you said you wanted to do something creative. Explore some of the things that you're into creatively. Do you like painting? Do you like music? Do you like, I don't know, like design? Any types of stuff like that? Explore something you want to do that you've thought about maybe doing, but thought, oh, that's a bit out of reach. And man, it's totally possible. So that would be my advice, man, is just try new things on a weekend. Go put yourself out of your comfort zone. Go try something new. And that's the only way you'll be able to actually realize if you want to really do something. You'll know. If you try something new and you're like, this feels good, you'll know. So that would be my advice, man. It's pretty short and sharp, but that's what I did, and that's what worked for me. Got another one here. Here, hang on. Another one from Optus. Hey, Optus, we're still at war. Stop texting me. All right, this one came in from, I'm not sure who it's from, but man, I like it. So before I have to read this out, I need to give some context. Last week, I mentioned that you could go follow the Tambourine Tour playlist on Spotify, not realizing that you could actually follow other people on Spotify. Like, all the playlists that I've made for myself are publicly available, which I don't care. Go look at him. I think it's just luke.kidgell on Spotify. So a couple of people went to check out the Tambourine Tour playlist and found my other playlist, which I listened to in the car, called Certified Banglords. And the reason why I call it Certified Banglords is because every goddamn song in it is a certified banglord. And I got this message, someone knocked me up, which you can get on the Patreon, by the way, if you want to knock me up. Just look up Luke Kidgell Patreon if you want to support what I do. It helped me get the mic. It helps keep improving everything I do, which is cool. Anyway, I've been listening to your Certified Banglords playlist, and I must say, I was impressed to begin with, and I thought you had some solid bangers. And then Never Say Never came on from Justin Bieber. And I've never respected you more. It's the ultimate banger, and I've never been more proud. I thought that was going to get very negative very quickly. As soon as I was reading that, and I said, and I heard, and then Never Say Never came on by Justin Bieber, I almost threw the phone. I almost went, oh, this guy doesn't understand music. Here's what I've been thinking about this week. If you don't like Justin Bieber, grow up. Grow up. You're a child. Oh, I don't like One Direction and Justin Bieber. Grow up. There's a reason why they are huge and some of the biggest artists in the world. Because they have great songs, and he's got a lot of good people around him. I think he's quite a good musician. He's got a good voice. He's talented. If you don't like Justin Bieber, grow up. There was 1 week in my life where I didn't like Justin Bieber. You know, I was like 14. I was in like year 9. And, you know, I was like, oh, fuck this Justin Bieber guy. Because all the girls at my school liked a little Canadian boy with a bowl haircut more than me. But then I went, okay, nah, this dude's got some tracks. Baby was shit. I didn't like that one. But that's shit because Ludacris is in it, you know? That's shit because it was filmed at a bowling alley. That's shit because he didn't write it. That's shit for many reasons. But Never Say Never featuring Jay Smith. Woo! Tune. That should be. Actually, that's going in, guys. Never Say Never is like, that's a pump-up bop. If we're talking bops that also never say... Oh my god. If this doesn't get... This would make me want to headbutt through a brick wall. This should be before the show. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Never say never. See? And then you got Jay Smith, dude, comes in and breaks it down. I can handle it. Hold up. I can handle it. Now he's bigger than me, cooler than me. Oh, then shorter. Whatever. I don't know the lyrics to Jaden Smith, but a little bit longer than me on a JB song with me. Guys, you guys get it. It's a bop. And that's going in the playlist. All right? I don't care. And you guys are wrong. Never Say Never. Boom. We're playing that before a show now. Never Say Never. And I pity anyone who disagrees. Honestly, you're like, I don't like Justin Bieber. Like, it's always like those guys who are into metal. They got like hair down to their assholes and look, oh, fuck Justin Bieber. And you're like, dude, fuck fuck every life decision you've made till now. You are jealous because Justin Bieber is successful, good looking, and more talented than your shitty local metal band. Okay? That's what the sitch is here. And I'm being honest. This podcast is all about honesty, and I hate to break it to you, but Justin Bieber's good. And I thought that message was gonna turn real negative. You know, I was listening to your Certified Bang Lord playlist, but then Justin Bieber came on and I lost respect. This guy gets it. Whoever sent me this dude gets it. And I've never been more proud of you. It's the ultimate banger. Man, it's not the ultimate banger, Fat Bottom Girls is, but it's bloody goddamn number 2. So, yeah, and I don't mean shit, by the way. I don't mean a number 2. I don't mean a poo. I mean it's second. So, yeah. Grow the fuck up. If you, I don't like One Direction, cool. Turn around and then leave in One Direction and don't turn back. Cause you fucking, you dog, you jelly dog. All right. So yeah, that's what's doing this week, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. Sorry I was sick, but hey, I hope it was sounding crisp. Hope you enjoyed those pump up songs. Let me know if you agree. Also, I want to know if you guys did that minty rapper shit at school. And yeah. Tell your friends about the podcast. Let's keep growing this thing. Now we're coming for you, Joe Rogan. We got the mic and we're coming for you. Just need a couple more mil people, and then hey, we'll fit in with the rest of the squad on iTunes. Leave a review, leave a comment. You can watch this podcast on YouTube if that's the way you want to consume it. Doesn't faze me how people consume it. As long as you're loving it and as long as you're bopping along to Queen. Yes, bigger shows of my life coming up next weekend. LukeKitgell.com. Would love to see you guys there. And yeah, have a good week, guys. See you later. And remember, never say never. Good. Bye.